Most people never think about this. There is a type of fat inside your body that you can't see, can't pinch, and often don't even know exists. It's called visceral fat. This fat wraps itself around your organs, including your liver, pancreas, and intestines. And for years, it can sit there silently causing damage. But something incredible happens when visceral fat finally starts to break down. Your body doesn't just lose fat, it changes how it functions from the inside out. And almost nobody talks about what really happens next. Unlike the fat under your skin, visceral fat is highly active. It constantly sends chemical signals into your bloodstream. Many of those signals increase inflammation, disrupt hormones, and interfere with blood sugar control. That's why visceral fat is strongly linked to conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and chronic fatigue. For a long time, scientists underestimated this fat because you can't see it. But now we know something important. When visceral fat begins to disappear, the body reacts fast and in very specific ways. Your body doesn't burn visceral fat randomly. It waits for a biological signal. This usually happens when your energy balance changes and insulin levels drop, signaling the body to look for deeper fuel sources. When that signal appears, visceral fat becomes the first target. Because it sits close to major blood vessels and organs, it reacts quickly to hormonal changes. Once the signal is sent, visceral fat cells begin releasing stored fatty acids into the bloodstream. This is the moment everything begins to shift. The first organ to react is the liver. Because visceral fat surrounds it, the liver receives these fatty acids almost immediately. At first, this sudden influx can feel overwhelming, like a system under pressure. But then something powerful happens. The liver adapts. It becomes better at burning fat, regulating blood sugar, and reducing internal stress. Inflammation markers begin to drop. Detox processes become more efficient. This single adjustment improves how the entire metabolic system functions. One of the most important changes happens quietly. Visceral fat is one of the largest sources of chronic inflammation in the body. It releases inflammatory molecules constantly, keeping the body in a state of low-grade stress. As visceral fat breaks down, those signals weaken. Inflammation doesn't disappear overnight, but it drops in stages. Blood vessels become less irritated. Organs begin working with less resistance. The immune system slowly recalibrates. Many people notice subtle improvements at this stage: better energy, fewer crashes, and less brain fog, even before any visible weight loss occurs. There is also a phase most people don't expect. Visceral fat stores substances the body couldn't process at the time, including metabolic waste and environmental toxins. When the fat breaks down, those substances are released back into circulation. The liver, kidneys, and lymphatic system immediately go to work clearing them out. This is why some people experience temporary changes in energy, digestion, or mood. It's not a problem. It's the body cleaning up what has been stored for years. Once this phase passes, the body feels lighter and more efficient internally. As visceral fat continues to shrink, metabolism begins to change in a powerful way. The body becomes better at switching between burning glucose and burning fat. This ability, called metabolic flexibility, is something many people lose as visceral fat builds up. When flexibility returns, energy becomes more stable. Cravings decrease. Mood improves. Even the mitochondria, the energy producers inside your cells, begin working more efficiently. This shift isn't about burning more calories. It's about using energy more intelligently. As visceral fat stops interfering with hormone signaling, fat in visible areas becomes easier to access. Stubborn fat around the waist, hips, arms, and thighs begins responding more naturally. You're not just losing fat, you're restoring the body's natural rhythm. One of the most surprising effects happens in the brain. Visceral fat disrupts hormones and blood sugar stability, both of which affect mental performance. As inflammation drops and fuel delivery improves, the brain receives steadier energy. Many people notice sharper focus, improved motivation, and greater emotional balance. Mental fog lifts. This creates a powerful feedback loop. Clear thinking leads to better decisions. Better decisions accelerate metabolic improvements. Those improvements continue reducing visceral fat. The gut also begins to change. For years, inflammation created by visceral fat disrupts the balance of gut bacteria. Harmful bacteria thrive, while beneficial ones struggle to survive. As inflammation fades, the intestinal environment becomes calmer and more supportive. Beneficial bacteria begin to grow again. Digestion improves. The gut-brain connection strengthens, supporting mood, immunity, and long-term metabolic health. As these internal systems stabilize, the risk of chronic disease begins to decline. Blood sugar regulation improves as insulin sensitivity increases. The cardiovascular system benefits as blood vessels become less inflamed and cholesterol handling improves. These changes build slowly, but their impact is long-lasting. Hormones also begin working together more effectively. Hormones that support fat burning increase, while appetite signals become more accurate. Hunger becomes more predictable. Overeating becomes less common. Fat loss becomes easier to maintain. With inflammation no longer dominating the system, the body redirects its energy. Instead of managing constant stress, it focuses on repair. Cells regenerate more efficiently. Damaged tissues recover. Internal systems return to balance. This is deep healing, not surface-level change. Once this process stabilizes, the body becomes far less likely to store visceral fat again. Visceral fat loss isn't just about appearance, it's about restoring balance inside the body. When you understand what's happening internally, lifestyle choices become easier and more effective. If this video helped you understand what really happens when visceral fat breaks down, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this information. Because real transformation always starts on the inside.